Can USA swallow Canada by tariffs or force? While US President Donald Trump has repeatedly suggested that Canada become the 51st state to avoid tariffs, experts and government officials describe this as virtually impossible due to immense legal, constitutional, and political hurdles. Trump has explicitly ruled out the use of military force, instead advocating for economic force through sweeping tariffs to pressure Canada into joining the Union. Can the US annex Canada? The prospect of annexation faces massive barriers in both countries, legal and constitutional obstacles. In Canada, joining the US would require a constitutional amendment involving the agreement of the House of Commons, the Senate, and every province. International law also forbids the acquisition of territory through the threat or use of force. Lack of Canadian support. Polling from December 2024 showed only 13% of Canadians favored a merger. Most Canadians opposed joining even under severe economic pressure. Roughly 76% said they would not change their stance even if Canada entered a deep recession due to Trump's tariffs. US political resistance. Republican leaders may oppose statehood because Canada's 40 million people would likely result in a significant number of Democratic seats in Congress, approximately the same number as California. Economic coercion, tariffs. Trump has used tariffs as a primary tool of economic force. As of early 2026, the US has imposed a 35% tariff on most Canadian imports, increased from an initial 25% in 2025. A 10% tariff on energy products and potash. Threats of a 100% tariff if Canada pursues certain trade deals with China. Potential gains for the US. Advocates for annexation, including President Trump, suggest several potential benefits. Resource access. Canada possesses vast quantities of critical minerals, oil, natural gas, timber, gold, and uranium. Prime Minister Mark Carney has suggested these resources are the primary driver behind US interest. Economic dominance. Integration would create a North American economic powerhouse, potentially stabilizing the US dollar and streamlining trade by eliminating all internal tariffs. Security and taxes. Trump argues statehood would lower Canadian taxes, increase military security, and make the border artificial line disappear. There are various factors to consider regarding the potential impact on the US if Canada were to join as a state. Economic integration. The integration of two large economies would have complex effects. While it could streamline trade and create a larger market, it would also involve significant challenges in aligning regulations, infrastructure, and economic policies. Political landscape. The addition of a large diverse population with distinct political leanings would undoubtedly alter the US political landscape, impacting representation in Congress and potentially shifting the balance of power. Social and cultural aspects. Canada and the US have distinct social and cultural identities. Integration would involve navigating these differences and potentially addressing challenges related to cultural preservation and social policies. Resource management. Canada's natural resources are extensive. Their integration into the US system would involve complex decisions regarding ownership, extraction, and environmental management. Examining the historical context of such hypothetical scenarios and considering the legal frameworks in both countries provides a broader understanding of the complexities involved. Friends, this is the considered view of many thinkers on both sides of border. If you like the presentation, please like, share, and comment. If possible, subscribe too. Thank you very much.